Hi there, welcome to Scraplift Saturday here at the Crafty Maven Getaway. I'm Melissa Vining and I'm from New Zealand, and this is my first video for the Crafty Maven, and today I'm on with Lena Monaco and we've decided to scraplift Melanie Blackburn, and I've linked her blog below. This is a layout that we're scraplifting, and as you can see it's very clean and very simple, and for both of us it's a challenge because it's different to our normal style. When I saw the inspiration piece for August, I immediately thought of this beautiful piece of paper by Ashley Goldberg for Studio Calico, and it was the mix of pinks, blues, navy, and a pop of gold that immediately made me think of that paper. So I went through my bag of scraps and I pulled out some papers that I knew would suit both the tones of that paper and also work with that inspiration piece. So I've really used the inspiration piece as a mood board for this layout. And Melanie had scrapped a black and white photo, but I predominantly scrap coloured photos. But her photo, I think, was a rectangular shape, so I've just cut down this photo of my daughter, and it was taken at the beginning of the year. And whenever she smiles, she doesn't show her teeth, but in this instance, she had lost a tooth, and so she was pretty keen to smile with her teeth. And so this whole layout is going to be about her losing her first tooth and how excited she was. So I'm backing it on a white mat, and if you watch my videos you'll know that I do this a lot. And the reason I've done this is the separation between the photo and the paper layers, and also because it was a scrap lift and Melanie had done that in her layout. Here I'm using a really cheap tape runner, and I'll often do this when I know that I'm going to use my sewing machine, and the reason I do it is because I don't want to gum up my needle, and because it's cheap it's probably not going to hold that well, but I know that the sewing will reinforce my adhesive anyway. So a little bit about me, because some of you may not know me. As I said, I'm from New Zealand and I live in Queenstown, which is in our South Island of New Zealand, and it's an alpine resort and we're really blessed to live here. Our kids learn to ski when they're 5 through school, and we have lakes and mountains, and I love snowboarding in winter and in summer. I love my mountain bike, and it's just a really fantastic place to raise kids. We've got 3 kids, and this is our middle daughter. Her name is Azaria, and she's 6, but in this photo she was still 5. And I just love scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking every day, but I don't do project life. I do pocket scrapbooking, but I find that project life is too stressful, and I feel I have to be caught up all the time, and that's just not going to work for me. So scrapbooking is my escape, I guess, and my outlet, as well as exercise. And I just love that I've met some wonderful people from all around the world through this wonderful hobby, and yeah, it's the one hobby that I've really stuck with and will probably always do. I've been thinking a lot lately about scraplifting and what it really is, and for me scraplifting is, yes, it is copying, but I also want to stay true to my style, and I treat sketches the same way. I will use sketches as a starting point, and I might add my own spin and take them in a totally different direction, as long as I can still see the sketch. And I think of scraplifting as the same. Scraplifting is a great way to practice trying new things. If you are lacking in creative flow, it's a good way to get the creative juices flowing. And I think that for me, Melanie's style is very clean, and my style used to be really clean, but I've liked things a lot messier lately. And so for me, this is probably the cleanest layout that I've made in quite a long time. But I don't want to absolutely copy it totally. You'll see that I've added my own spin on it, and if you know my style, you know that this layout ends up being true to that. Here I'm adding that bottom strip, and this is where I'm about to have a mishap. I had found that the paper was not straight, and I decided to go with it. And when I turned it over, I could see that it was hanging over, and I should have just left it, but I couldn't leave well enough alone again. And when I pulled it up, the double-sided tape, or it was tape runner, lifted off some of the cardstock. So rather than start again, I really didn't want to do that. I just cut another strip, and in order to cover up what I ripped, I had to cut it wider. And so I guess that's the first point of difference with my layout and Melanie's layout, is that I've added a lot bigger strip on the bottom. I wasn't that happy about it, but it's not that big a deal. I just have to go with it. I have to move on. And in a way, it's good because it does show off more of that beautiful paper. That's a Dear Lizzie Project Life card, and I just had it sitting on my desk for the other side of it. But I thought it worked perfectly just to be tucked below the paper layers, below my photo. And you'll see what I do with it later on. At this point, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was just going to leave it as is. Now, Melanie's layout has a piece of grid paper to the right of the photo, and I was going to use that pink paper, but then I remembered I wanted to make an embellishment with it. So I've just pulled out, it's kind of like a library index card, and I have a few of them that I got from a crop. And so I wanted to add a bit of interest, like an office look to it. So I've come in with my Stampin' Up! Spiral punch, or notebook edge punch, and just added that to the top. And now I need to tuck it under and work out how much to trim off, because I don't want it to dominate my photo. And so I just eyeball it really, and it's all about balance for me. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to glue that down. And that then provides a place for me to put my embellishment. This is an Epiphany Crafts punch, and you get these little epoxy stickers and they go on the top. And when you punch it, it makes an embellishment. So I'll show you there. I have a bit of trouble getting it out, so punch again, it pops it out. I was about to adhere it then, but then I realised that I need to add my flare badge and another little enamel star. And I've pretty much straight copied her embellishment. She used 2 stars and a flare, and I've done exactly the same thing. And I wish I could remember where I got the flare from. It may have been from a really old paper bakery kit, but I actually can't remember. And now I wanted to add a feather. That's not something that Melanie had on her layout, but I think it suits my layout. So I couldn't decide between the big one and the small one when I put my supplies together. So I just laid both of them out and decided that the smaller one looks better. And I do like it because I think that those gold bits on the bottom, sorry, I'm not being very descriptive, they look like feathers on the bottom of the paper there, on the bottom of the page. Melanie's layout had a title that looked like it had been done on a Cameo with a sketch pen. Now, I don't have a Cameo yet. I'm hoping to get one eventually. So I decided to do something a bit different, and I wanted kind of a regular look and a free kind of look. So I hand cut some letters, and this is something I've been meaning to do for a very long time, and I just keep forgetting to do it. So I cut out the word tooth, and it was actually quite easy because because that paper is quite linear and there's lines on it, I could use that as a guide for how high to cut my letters. I've now got 2 wood veneer arrows, which is something that Melanie also had on her layout, and I'm just gluing them down with Tombow. And I've added another little star. I've pulled this Market Street by Mind's Eye sticker sheet, and it was left over from a hip kit several months ago, and I didn't show it at the beginning, but you know how it works when you're scrapbooking. You think you've got all your supplies there, and then suddenly you think, hey, this would work really well. So I've added a phrase sticker at the bottom, and where I'm adding them now, Melanie had her journaling typed out on the typewriter and cut out onto a strip, and that's not something that I do. I handwrite my journaling. So instead of that, I've just come in with a few more of these little word stickers, and I like the way that looks. and the stickers at the top say "This week noted today," and at the bottom the sticker says all my favourite things. Now I've pulled these, I think they're basic grey letter stickers, and I just want to spell out the word missing, so my title will be Missing Tooth. And now I'm adding my journaling, and in Melanie's layout she had stamping phrases. She stamped several phrases down here, but as I said before, I like handwritten journaling and I thought that was the perfect place for it. So now I'm coming in with my Dear Lizzie stamp, and I'm just adding the phrase "oh my" and just randomly placing it around the page. So now I've pulled my gold mist of my gold colour shine. Melanie had, I think it was black India ink, but I wanted to bring out some more of the gold, and also that inspiration piece had gold circles on it, and I think that really reflects that well. And now I'm wanting to add the date, and I always practice a couple times. And now this is quite scary for me because thumbs up because I managed to stamp it the first time. Here's my final layout. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've put a link to my channel below if you want to check out more of my videos, and make sure you check out what Lena has created as well. Have a great day.